Greetings, I'm Professor K, and in this short video presentation we're going to see how we go about transferring the operation masters for either Server 2012 or Server 2016 using PowerShell. For this video demonstration I'll be using DC1 as my forest root, and I have DC2 configured as a replica. The benefits of using PowerShell as opposed to the GUI is you do not need to use any snap-ins to transfer the role to the future or the receiving server. You can also run the needed PowerShell commandlets from a Windows 10 client or a Windows server with the remote server administration tools RSAT package installed. To get this lab started, we will need to open up PowerShell and run it as the administrator. So let's go click on the Start button, and from the available tiles let's click on Windows PowerShell. Let's right click, and from the context menu let's select Run as Administrator. For this demonstration I've gone full screen with my PowerShell, and I have increased the font size to 16. The Active Directory module for PowerShell is already installed by default for Server 2012 and Server 2016. So I've used the get-ad forest commandlet here, and I followed that up with the name of my domain. We give it a space, a pipe, a space, and then we type in FT, and then we're looking for the domain naming master and the scheming master. So the first thing we want to do here is identify where these two operation masters are currently located on your domain. And this is an easy and quick way to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit enter, and it comes back and it tells me that the domain naming master and my schema master are both located on DC1. Our first command identified the forest-wide operation masters. Now we need to identify where the domain-wide operation masters are located. Pretty much the same command. I've got a get-ad domain as opposed to ad forest, and the rest of it just followed up with the name of the operation masters that I want to look for. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit enter, and it comes back and it tells me that the infrastructure master, the PDC emulator, and the RID master are also located on DC1. So one of the great benefits of using PowerShell to do all this is a lot less clicking. We don't have to open up a whole lot of different interfaces and click on a lot of different tabs to find information. Our next step is to go ahead and gracefully move or transfer these operation master roles over to DC2. So this command is pretty well complete right out of the box. The only thing that you have to add is the name of the server, and that's it. Alright, so in this scenario right here, I need to move. So in this scenario here, I'm going to move the PDC emulator over to DC2 using PowerShell. So let's go ahead and hit enter, and it comes up and it wants you to confirm that you're actually going to move this role over to DC2. I'm going to go ahead and type in a capital N for no, and I'm back to my prompt. Another great feature of doing this with PowerShell is that I can move all the roles at once with just a single command. And so we're looking at the move option here up inside of the AD Directory Service Operations master role, and I've got all of the operation masters listed here, and I'm saying I want to move them. So let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. First of all, when I hit enter, it's going to come up one at a time with each of these operation masters and ask me to either confirm or not that I'm going to complete the move. For each one of these, I'm going to type in a capital N, and I'm going to say no, and I come up with the next one. So we begin with the domain naming master, and then we go on to the PDC emulator, and then we have the RID master, and finally we have the schema master. We've got one more to go here, and we end up with the infrastructure master, and I've typed in no again. So that's all 5 of my operation master roles being transferred using a single command. So I didn't have to connect to any domain controller. I didn't have to get up inside of a snap-in for domains and trust or Active Directory users and computers. I was able to do everything from a single window using PowerShell. Using our last command, we were able to move all 5 operation masters at one time with a single command, but that command was a little long. So we can use a number that is associated with the operation master and replace the name of the operation master in the command with just a number. So you can see in this table each number that is associated with an operation master. In this next example, you see where I have replaced the name of the operation masters with their corresponding number. This makes the command much shorter and easier to deal with. And again, if I hit enter, it's going to ask me one at a time to confirm or deny that I want to move that particular operation master over to DC2. So I'm going to go ahead and type in N, capital Y's, for no, and I'll do the same thing here, and I'll do it again, and one more time. And now all of the operation masters have been gracefully moved using my PowerShell if that's what I wanted to do. In this short video presentation, you got to see how we could use PowerShell to gracefully move the operation masters from one machine to another without having to interact with any GUI or tabs or windows. Again, PowerShell proves to be a much more efficient way of getting something done up inside of our server. In the event that the machine that is actually hosting the operation masters for your network is down, and it's down hard and it's not going to be able to come back up, you can use the move command and follow that up with a -force to forcibly seize the roles and move them over to DC2 or whatever your receiving domain controller is going to be. So that's going to conclude this short video presentation on how we go about using PowerShell to gracefully transfer the operation master roles for our domain. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that was covered in this video or in the lab file, please do not hesitate to reach out and contact your instructor, and I'll see you in my next video.